find this awesomeness of universe weird sometimes, then you might not have encountered the dangerously weird quantum world. So the topic for today is a very famous and weird thought experiment put it forward by Schrödinger. It's none other than Schrödinger's cat. So in order to not get annoyed with quantum physics, firstly we will get a basic intuition required to grasp the thought experiment through this model, which is not the best one in history of designing, but it's my best attempt. So here we have to do a very basic thing. We have to take a ball and roll it like this and mark the position at which it hits the wall behind, in this case here. And if we do this same repeatedly, we will generate a pattern like this, which is a kind of very obvious thing, as the ball can go either from here or from here. But what if we have a wave like this coming from here, which commonly develops on dropping pebble in water? Well, due to these obstructions, the whole wave cannot pass and it will divide into two waves due to these slits like this. And then these two waves will interfere with each other like this to produce this pattern on the screen, which is called an interference pattern. And the same pattern was developed when scientists were doing the same experiment we just did with balls, but they did it at quantum scale, that is with very small slits and very small balls, that is electrons. And this observation forced the scientists to conclude that particles also have wave nature. That's why electron, which is a particle, produced the pattern which is produced by waves. But why can't we see this wave nature in everyday objects like this ball? Well, due to this relation, due to comparatively very high mass of everyday objects, the wavelength associated with them is very small to observe. Also, the wave nature of electron implies that it must be passed from both the slits at the same time. That's why two waves were able to interact with each other to produce this interference pattern. But how a single electron can pass from both the slits at the same time? To ensure this, some sensors were placed at the slits, but when we tried to observe the path of electrons, the resulting pattern was this. Now this is very weird, and this weird observation leads to the principle of superposition, which simply states that a particle exists at all its theoretical possible states until it is observed to randomly choose one. And that's what was happening in this case. Until the particle was observed, the electron was observed, it was passing from both the holes to produce this interference pattern. But when we observed the path of electrons through the sensors, the resulting pattern was this. Now our toolkit is ready to evaluate Schrödinger's cat thought experiment. So Schrödinger said that imagine a cat in a closed box along with some complex device that, depending on a decay of radioactive substance, has 50% chance of killing the cat in the next hour and 50% chance of doing nothing. Now if I ask you that what's the state of cat after 1 hour, then you will probably say that the cat is either dead or alive, because that's what our common sense suggests. But evaluating this with our newly prepared toolkit suggests that until we observe it, the particle must be both decayed and not decayed simultaneously, which then means that the cat must be both killed by that device and not killed by the device, and that means that Kitty is both dead and alive in the box at the same time. Until we observe it by opening the box, that will force it to randomly choose one of the possible situations. Was it that easy? Yeah, and if you were able to understand this, then you are a genius, as Schrödinger himself was not able to get this at first. So next time whenever you lose hope, remember that you are so powerful to change things only by observing.